Perfect. I'll get started.
All
Great.
right. So hi Rachel, how are you?
Hi, great to meet you.
Good to meet you too. Absolutely loved the French Italian. I thought it was so relatable, so funny. It was like the perfect lighthearted movie that I needed the other
Oh my
days.
gosh, thank you. Oh wow.
And it's my understanding that this is your feature film debut as both writer and director. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Congratulations on that. Um, what made this the perfect film to be your feature film debut?
Oh yeah, great question. I had just spent like a few years trying to make a different movie that wasn't coming together. And I was like, I need to write something that I can shoot in my backyard, shoot in New York, that I can have star all my favorite comedy people because I've worked in the comedy space and I have so many talented friends and friends of friends who I'd love to pull in. And I just really wanted to do something that fit into like my favorite movies, which are like Nora Ephron, Nicole Holofcener, all these like walking and talking rom-coms. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I was just like really excited to do a movie about a couple that's not about them fighting and breaking up. It's like about a couple that like really loves each other and reinforces themselves and just like constantly one-upping each other into bad decisions. So that was kind of the origin.
And that is definitely something that's very unique, because rom-coms are usually, they break up, there's fighting, and then they get together, and that was very refreshing to see.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of movies about bad couples, but what about couples that are good couples? I don't know.
There are healthy relationships out there.
I wouldn't go that far for this people,
Wow.
these people, but yeah.
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 Okay, fair. Um, the relatability of it was also very refreshing, but like there's they hate their neighbors, the annoying neighbor, but also being very obsessed with them at the same time. And then Doug has the line where he says he hasn't written anything since college except for emails, which also like really hit me hard. Um, so where did like the characters come from? They felt like too real to just kind of be fictional. Like how much of yourself and your friends and family and stuff did you bring into this?
Yeah, it's ripped from the diaries, man. Every character is based on it's an amalgamation of myself and people I spend a lot of time with. And everybody talks like me. Everybody thinks like me in the movie. That is what it is to create art. You're just expressing yourself. So I really liked the idea that there was two people who got sucked into making theater, which by the way is the most fun thing you can possibly do with your life. It's do with your time. It's like put on a play with your friends. But people who really had no experience in the art and were being kind of sucked into it. So that's I thought it was really funny to have them like kind of know nothing about plays or even movies or and that way they could make when they put on their first show, they could make kind of all of the rookie bad writing mistakes, which I also have made. Yeah, and then because so I was developing this with my partner Jesse, and he was like, there needs to be somebody who's like a more experienced artist who is happy to take their money and draws them further into the plot. So that's where we came up with the Wendy character, who's like got her own agenda, played by Ruby McAllister, and is just totally happy to like be like, yes, everything you're doing is perfect, and you should pay more money to me and my friends to do this. So, which is something I know all too well.
Um, what was it like to film a play within the film?
Oh, great question. Yeah. I mean, that's such a classic structure. Not to compare myself to the greatest writer of the English tradition, but like, it goes back to Shakespeare, it goes pre-Shakespeare. And there's so many great movies that I love that use that form. So it was really fun. And the things you can do visually and stylistically on stage are so different from what you can do in a movie. We were really excited, me and the production designer, Kit Sheridan, and the costume designer, Nell Simon, to really push it when we came to the stage show. And so we were like, what's the funny, like, what is the funniest, what's the most over the top theater trope you never get to use in a movie? So that part was totally really exciting. And I was so lucky because Aiku Fomudu, who plays Joe, the actor, and Ruby McAllister, who plays Wendy, who do the play at the end, like are just not only are they deeply experienced improvisers and are super funny, like they both have really deep theater training backgrounds. So I feel like Ike pulled out some like deep actor-y stuff that I was like, well, usually see him as a stand-up comedian and he's so funny, but he's like totally different than he is in this movie. And it was like, wow, what a treat. You like knew all the stuff that I didn't even know should be in here. What a wonderful collaboration to put that together. So it was a lot of fun to do those sequences.
That's awesome. Um, did any of their like improv moments make it into the film?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of improv in the movie, especially in that section. Because I meant to write a play for them to perform and I just like ran out of time. So those guys kind of riffed and filled it in. Yeah.
Kind of like your characters throwing the script a little bit later than wanted.
Based on a true story.
Um, I absolutely love the fact that coffee inspired the name of the play, The French Italian. So why did you give the film the same name?
Oh yeah. Well, I had this untitled screenplay and I was at Bars, was buying coffee, and they, all the different beans there have these like indescribable, you're like, what does that mean? All these names. And I looked at the French Italian and I was like, wow, what a great sophisticated sounded name. And so I was like, this should be the title of the movie. Yeah.
So again, based on a true story.
It's all based on a true story. Yeah. I mean, the point of this film is like if you work with good enough actors, you could never know you're a bad writer. That is what I was trying to do in this movie.
I like it. I like it. Um, the cast was great, speaking of the actors. You mentioned that you were pulling from your very talented friends. Did you know everyone in the cast prior to filming?
I didn't know everybody personally, but almost everybody in the film is someone I had either worked with or had seen on stage in New York. I had seen their work, and most of them were like pretty easy reach outs to be like, "Hey, you've done this person's show. Who's my friend? Is going to do this movie. Is friend of a friend." So it is, and pretty much everybody kind of knew. All the actors know each other, which is true no matter what you do. With the exception of Chloe Cherry, who I was really not familiar with her work. And my producer, Miranda Khan, when she read the script, she was like, yo, you got to see this girl on Euphoria. She's like jumped off the page as this character. So we were really lucky that she liked it and is, she has many talents, but she's interested in comedy. So I was like pretty psyched to get her for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was the only name that I knew going into this film. So
Oh,
really interesting.
yeah, cool. Yeah, she's got a big following and for good reason.
Yeah. So when you were casting and you had seen these actors before, did you kind of like know you wanted to cast them or like what made them perfect for these roles?
Well, I was totally the first person cast was Kat Cohen because I've just been very into her work for a long time, and she's definitely New York famous. She's like comedy famous, but she's New York famous in that we anytime we were filming on the street, like people would stop and be like, "Oh my God, Kat Cohen," even though like many of the other actors are on TV and have other like very interesting careers, but she's the one that people really recognize in the city. And so I think she's just like so underutilized in what the work she's done on film to date. Now she's done a bunch more, but I was like really excited to be like, this is going to be like the Cat Cohen vehicle. So I was thrilled that she said yes. And then she really has so much pull in the comedy community that when she said yes, it was easy to be like, hey, Kat's doing this. Don't you want to do it? And they'd be like, I guess I could do this for a couple of days. So then I was able to kind of loop in everybody else.
That's awesome.
I listen to her podcast. It's like I know her and we're friendly now, and but now I listen to her podcast like, which is like a power social situation, where I'm like, oh yeah, it's my friend talking to me, but it's like it's actually my friend. That's that's kind of a weird situation for me.
Um, I love the fact that like kind of the main conflict is kind of revolves around karaoke a little
Yeah.
bit. Do you have personal beef with karaoke?
No, I love karaoke. Independent filmmakers love karaoke. And now that I've said that, you're going to start watching indie films and just notice how often people use karaoke as a stand-in for an emotional moment. Anyway, it's all over the place.
I
Um,
I
but
will.
I love it. And everybody who read the script was like, oh my God, let me tell you about my bad neighbor. And everyone had a story, except for one girl who was like, Oh, I own a karaoke machine. Is that bad? And I was like,
Well, she's the bad neighbor then, I guess.
yeah, man. Yeah.
So then, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I like to switch it up, but let's see. I do Groove is in the Heart. That's a good song. Dance number from the 90s. I'll do a little Robin, call your girlfriend. Do that one. I'll do the boss. He's in my range.
Nice, nice. Um, so I kind of winding down here a little bit. Now that the French Italian is out and getting traction, what's up next for you?
Great question. Wow. I have another script I want to do. I've been casting. It's another dark comedy. It's a little bit darker than this one. And it's about the student loan crisis.
Oh my, another relatable one.
Yeah, it gets pretty dark.
That I like really want to see that, but at the same time, I feel like that one might hit really, really close to home.
It's close to home for me, man.
Mm. But that, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen or heard a film tackle student loans. So that's relatable, but very, very unique.
Thank you. For a minute, I thought Joe Biden was going to wipe away everybody's loans, and I was like, my movie. But don't worry. Yeah, we lost. So
Your movie's safe.
that's the only good thing that's come out of the last election.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, I am going to be very excited to hopefully speak with you again about that one. But until then, where can we follow you to stay up to date with you, your work, your films, all that good stuff?
Yeah, you can follow the film on Instagram. I think it's at the French Italian film. Pretty basic. And that is where you're going to get all the updates. It does come out on October 28th, which is in 2 weeks. Everywhere you buy and rent movies. So it'll be out widely.
Perfect. Thank you so much for chatting. Again, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, thank you.
But I can't wait to see all the other good stuff that you put out. But yeah, again, thank you for chatting.
Yeah, great to meet you, Beth. Thanks so much. Good questions.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.